What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got a lot going on here right now in our country. Take a look at this. Co-defendants in the former President Donald Trump case in Fulton County, Georgia, begin surrendering here ahead of the Friday deadline. Also, former President Donald Trump himself has a bond set at $200,000 in the same case. He is expected to surrender himself here within the next day or two as well. Also, we have a court that has ruled and set limits on former President Donald Trump's social media use, saying here that a judge on Monday limited former President Donald Trump's social media use in connection to the indictment in Georgia that charged him with 13 counts related to his and his allies' efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Fulton County Superior Judge Scott McAfee signed the order banning former President Donald Trump from contacting his co-defendants or witnesses in the case, except through their attorneys. It also bans the former president from intimidating co-defendants or witnesses in the case, including through posts on social media. Now, we've had judges tell him not to do stuff like this in the past with social media, and, well, he ignored it. So we'll see. The defendant, quote, shall perform no act to intimidate any person known to him or her to be a co-defendant or witness in this case or to otherwise obstruct the administration of justice, the order says. The above shall include, but are not limited to, posts on social media or reposts of posts made by another individual on social media, it states. This is not the first time the former president has been warned to limit his social media use and public statements in one of his ongoing legal battles. U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan, who is overseeing Trump's federal 2020 election case, warned both sides of the case to take, quote, special care to avoid making any statements that could intimidate witnesses or prejudice the jury pool earlier this month. The former president and 18 others were charged last week in Fulton County, Georgia, for their actions related to alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election in the state of Georgia. The defendants have until Friday at noon to voluntarily surrender themselves. This also sets a $200,000 bond for former President Donald Trump, alongside its warning to not intimidate co-defendants or the witnesses. Trump confirmed in a Truth Social post Monday that he would turn himself in to Georgia authorities on Thursday. This is the fourth indictment for former President Donald Trump, and this comes right before the Republican National Committee convention, which he will not be appearing in, and instead he will do a pre-recorded interview, and we will see what happens here. We will also see what happens with the four indictments, if any of them or how many of them will play out before the actual election. You can let me know your thoughts here on that in the comments section. I'll keep you up to date. Also, today here, the Biden administration launches new income-driven student loan repayment program for tens of millions of Americans. This just was announced here today. Yeah, they officially launched this new income-driven student loan repayment program ahead of the student loan payments that will officially start here actually pretty soon. The official launch of the SAVE program comes just weeks before interest will start beginning to accrue on student loans for the first time in more than 3 years in September. Repayments will begin resuming in October, although no financial consequences will come to borrowers if they are unable to pay for up to a year. I did see, though, if you're going to take advantage of the SAVE program, it may be in your best interest to make sure you don't miss any payments. Although look into that, do your own due diligence. Starting today, millions of borrowers can reduce their monthly student loan bills by enrolling in the SAVE program, the most affordable repayment plan in history, said Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. The SAVE plan is another huge step forward in President Biden's tireless efforts to fix the broken student loan program. Yeah, it's a problem. Borrowers can visit a page on the federal student aid website, which is studentaid.gov/IDR, studentaid.gov/IDR, and find a quick application that takes around 10 minutes to complete. Some information may be difficult for borrowers to find for the application, such as tax returns, can automatically be inserted by the department due to information the government already has. The launch of the SAVE program comes after it has been in beta testing for months. Those who are on revised pay-as-you-earn repayment programs or who applied for the SAVE program during beta testing do not need to fill out the application. Borrowers who miss a certain number of payments will also automatically get enrolled in the SAVE program. A senior administration official said those who want to see the benefit from the SAVE plan before payments restart should apply in the next few days. Applications will take around 4 weeks to process. Officials said that the new plan will save borrowers millions on monthly payments. The plan will have a two-phase rollout. Some of the program will not be implemented until July of next year. The income exemption for monthly payments will be raised from 150% of the poverty line to 225%. Meaning more borrowers will qualify for $0 monthly payments under this plan. I don't exactly know if that will help people pay down their debt, though. An individual borrower making up to $32,800 per year and a family of four making less than $67,500 will have $0 monthly payments. Other changes include that unpaid interest will not grow if borrowers are making their payments. Unpaid interest will not grow if borrowers are making their payments. But if your payment's zero, I don't know how that's going to work. And income for borrowers who are married but file separately will not be counted. Other changes will not occur till July, such as cutting monthly payments from 10% to 5% as a person's discretionary income for undergraduate. The new program comes as the Supreme Court struck down Biden's student loan forgiveness of up to $10,000 to $20,000 per borrower. The administration highlighted that it already had forgiven more than $116 billion in student loan debt for 3.4 million borrowers through different programs. That is true. That's not through the student loan forgiveness program that the Supreme Court struck down. There is student loan forgiveness that has been going on for many years through student loan forgiveness that has already been going on for decades. They've just made it more accessible now. It's just not the widely spread one that was struck down from, remember you have to be a public servant, et cetera, right? I guess we'll have to see how this goes. Again, another thing that is really kind of hampering or hurting everything here is that the rising of interest rates. More and more students going to college now with higher interest rates is just going to make the burden for this even harder. And anybody that's maybe even refinanced or something now with higher interest rates, going to make it even worse. So if you're going into this new SAVE program, make sure you try to understand exactly how the economics of it work. It's probably going to be different for each person. So try to sit down and understand the numbers, and make sure that that interest is the most important thing probably there for you guys. Um, $0 a month, I don't know how that's going to work with the actual interest accruing. So just make sure you guys pay attention. I don't have student loans, so you'll have to do your own due diligence when you're looking at your own numbers. Um, you know, this is going to be a nightmare for a lot of people. I know that they say that the average monthly payments for a lot of people is $5,000 a year. And that's going to be really troubling for a lot of people. We're talking tens of millions of people because 2/3 of Americans already live paycheck to paycheck and surely don't have an extra $5,000 a year if they're already living paycheck to paycheck. And they haven't had to pay on these student loans for like 3 years. And they haven't had it in their budget. They've probably just, gone on with life, and it's a bill they haven't had to pay for a long time. Maybe they were saying, hey, maybe we'll get some student loan forgiveness. If they would have got that student loan forgiveness, it actually would have wiped out student loans completely for like half of the people. And that's not going to happen now. So, yeah, it's going to be a problem. The average person does not have $5,000 a year if they're already living paycheck to paycheck. So, and now with higher interest rates on everything, the average credit card, interest rate is 25% now. Higher mortgage rates, higher car loans, higher interest rates everywhere. Uh, yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely free to subscribe. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Click here to see the scandal in the Maui fires, which is absolutely just sad and scary. Or President Biden could be testifying. That's right. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.